Stadium after a 5-2 road trip. Back in the ballpark where they have been historically good. 51-14 here this season. Ready to start a quick homestand. Just 3 with the Brewers. Before it's back to the road for 3 in Arizona and 4 in San Diego. Joe Davis, Nomar Garcia Park, Kelly Tennant with you tonight. Players Weekend at Dodger Stadium. It's cool seeing something a little bit different. It'll be good to go back to the classic Dodger blue, but this is neat for a few days over the course of a long season.
I think for players, the monotony of the season at times, just something to change it up. These guys, you can just hear them as they've been interviewed about it, just how much fun they're actually having. They think it's cool to be able to put the nickname. They talk about the gear. We're going to check out different colored bats. We're going to look at their cleats, some of the arm sleeves that they're wearing, and it's always nice on the side of their arm to recognize people or leagues or whatever that they're thankful for that helped them in their development to get to the big leagues. Speaking of socks, there you go.
Leave it to Puig to wear the loudest socks he could find. Let's meet the Brewers lineup, brought to you by Honda. Speaking of loud, how about those Players Weekend jerseys? Popping with that yellow. Eric Thames leads it off. Then Neil Walker over from the Mets batting second. In left field, the local guy, Ryan Braun. Travis Shaw, the cleanup man. And starting at third base. In right field, Domingo Santana. There's Stephen Vogt, who catches in bat 6 for Milwaukee. Keon Broxton in center. And Orlando Arcia at shortstop. They face off with the right-hander Kenta Maeda, who was perfect through 5 innings in Detroit on Sunday, but then gave up 4 runs in the 6th. Then Justin Verlander was doing what he was doing, which meant Maeda suffered his first loss since the beginning of July.
Yeah, and it's hard to think. When you look at those bottom numbers over his last 11 starts, just 7-2 with a 2.78 ERA. Now, he has faced the Brewers earlier this year on June 4th. There, he also suffered the loss when they only gave up 2 runs and 2 hits in 4 innings. But in 3 career starts versus Milwaukee, he is 1-1 with a 2.2 ERA.
So on the back of Kenta's jersey tonight, Maeda, which he explained is basically the equivalent of Justin Turner having JT on the back of his jersey. It's basically doing the initials.
So the first 3 letters of his first name and the last 3 letters of his last name. That's how he came up with it. Hey, that's fine. Go with it.
Maeda.
The key for Maeda today is to go out there, pitch off the fastball, attack the strike zone, pitch with conviction. That's when we see Maeda is successful.
Wasn't it funny listening to the names introduced in the nicknames like this one, saying Namja, which is basically manly in Korean. Eric Thames dominated in Korea the last 3 years. Off we go from Los Angeles with ball 1. Tonight's closed captioning brought to you by Wiener Schnitzel. Good luck closed captioning tonight. That's a strike 1-1 on a 72-degree night, fit for a postcard in LA. The heat wave coming.
Strike on Manly, is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay.
It's inside 2-1.
You talk about him dominating in Korea. Think about he was there from 2014 through 16. Batting average over the course of his career there, 348 with 124 home runs. That's pretty good.
Pretty manly.
Yeah.
His nickname there, the locals nicknamed him God.
Can put that on the back.
Yeah, couldn't do that. 2-2. Now the Brewers kind of boom or bust offensively. They hit a lot of home runs, but they strike out a lot. You put it together and they're below league average in runs per game. Craig Counsell, the manager of these Brewers. Maeda pitches 2-2 and has strike 3 over the inside corner.
Oh, right on cue, Joe, as you're mentioning. Yes, they hit the long ball, but they also strike out an awful lot. That pitch started off, looked like it was going to be a ball on the inner half and had a nice little run back on the inside corner.
So up comes Neil Walker. who came over from the New York Mets just a couple of weeks ago, and like Curtis Granderson for the Dodgers, Walker's been really good since the Brewers got it. Strike one.
I think Mets fans are going, wait a minute.
Yeah, where was this?
Yes.
Quickly 0-2.
Yeah, all Neil Walker has done in 9 games with the Brewers, he's just batting .429 with a home run. That's it.
Helping the Brewers go 7-3 over their last 10 games. They're right there in the race. A lot of people thought they were still a year away from competing, but they've spent more time in first than any team in the Central, Cubs included. Almost 2.5 months spent in first. They struggled some coming out of the All-Star break, and in fact went from having a 5.5 game lead in mid-July to behind the Cubs in about a week-and-a-half span. They sputtered coming out of the break. The Cubs got hot. With his recent 7-3 stretch, again has him right on the brink.
That is a bright yellow, by the way. I mean, I was looking in the dugout and just checking out all the hats and how bright that yellow is. It's like a highlighter.
Mm-hmm. Very Little League like, those ones especially, which is the goal of this whole thing. Got in on him, man. A sky-high pop-up. Kind of a tough kind of time of night to find it. Grandal does for the second out.
Number 8, Ocho.
Ryan Braun going by Ocho. Mad respect for why. Obviously his number is 8, but he's a huge Dodgeball fan, the movie. And of course ESPN 8, the Ocho from Dodgeball.
Which ESPN actually had the Ocho.
They did.
Yes, earlier this month on August 8th. Yeah.
I think they're going to make it a tradition, actually.
They had Dodgeball on there, didn't they?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. 2 up, 2 down in the first. Braun hacks and misses, strike one. Also, you have these bats. They got to design their own color scheme on the bats, and his pays homage to his time at Miami. Hurricane orange and green. And so there was a little bit of an exchange with another former Hurricane and Yasmani Grandal when he stepped in there. Nice bat, man. 1-1.
What did they send you, right?
Flip down the right field line and foul. Braun spent much of the first half hurt. His power number is not close to what they usually are, so it's kind of surprising that the Brewers are among the best in baseball in homers because they've only gotten 13 of them from Braun. Now Thames with 27. Travis Shaw, who's on deck, has 27. A couple of other guys with 20. Would have been throughout the lineup they've hit for power. Maeda home with a 1-2.
You said it. I mean, Milwaukee, where they rank in the NL as far as home runs per team, they're second in the NL. They have 185 home runs as a team. And if you're wondering, well, where do the Dodgers rank? Well, they rank 4th. They have 181. And Dodger fans have seen the power that the Dodgers have had all year long. Although one of their leading home run hitter right now is on the DL.
2-2 on Braun. Yeah, the issue for the Brewers is that they're so reliant on the home run ball. Perfect example. They just came off a 3-game series in San Francisco and lost 2 of 3. They had a ton of fly balls that just died on the warning track in a bad home run hitting park. Only scoring 6 runs in 3 games in that series. Down swinging goes Braun. Kenta Maeda has a 1-2-3 first inning. The Dodgers come to bat against Chase Anderson when you come back. In this very quick homestand, and here is their lineup brought to you by Honda. Chris Taylor leads it off, and then it's Corey Seager with Justin Turner hitting 3rd and playing at 3rd. Grandal bats cleanup, Gonzalez 5th. Puig in right hitting 6th, Logan Forsythe at 2nd, and Kike Hernandez with another start against a right-handed pitcher whose name is Chase Anderson, although tonight he goes by Texas. Very prideful about being from Wichita Falls, Texas. 29-year-old who missed a month and a half with an oblique injury, but came off Sunday at Coors Field. Not a fun place to pitch, healthy or not, and he was really good.
Yeah, he went 5 innings there, just allowing 2 hits and just 1 earned run, which any pitcher would tell you. That is a great outing over there at Coors Field. One of the keys to his success this year was you got over 2 miles an hour more velocity on his fastball.
Taylor hits a high fly ball to the opposite field. The Domingo Santana camps under for out number 1.
And Chase Anderson asked about the uptick in his velocity. He said he contributed a lot to what he focused on this offseason was really the lower half, really building up the legs, worried about driving off the mound. And he says also from a mental standpoint, he said, listen, it's not about holding anything in the tank anymore. It's about going out there, attacking, and letting it fly. And he says that's been a huge piece of his success and a huge piece of the uptick in that velocity. But he also has a good curveball and a good changeup as well.
Corey Seager takes a ball. You mentioned the curveball. He didn't throw it a single time at Coors Field, but a lot of guys kind of steer away from their breaking stuff at Coors Field because it really doesn't break in that thin air. So they're very prepared for him to break it back out here.
Yeah, he used more of his cutter when he was over there at Coors Field for his breaking pitch, cutter and changeup mix. So Texas versus Seager.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yep.
2-1. It's not nearly as good as his brother Kyle, who went with Corey's brother.
Yeah, that is definitely one of tops in the league.
Up in Seattle, they find themselves in a wild card race like the Brewers, who isn't in the American League though. Anderson's 2-1. Pops him up. Thames 2 out. Now the Dodgers saw Chase Anderson twice last year and absolutely lit him up. 12 runs over 6 innings, but like you said, this is a different guy who's putting together a career year.
And oftentimes, Turner Ward, when we talked to him about the scouting report that he likes to give the hitters, I said, so do you think about whether they faced him years past? Like, listen, it's a whole different year, and especially this late in the season, we're going off what he's done this year.
Justin Turner with 2 out takes just off of the plate, ball 1. There's a curve, 1-1. Turner sporting Red Turn 2 on the nameplate. Red has always been his nickname. Pretty obvious why. He's playing second base in New York. And he was given that nickname, Red Turn 2. It's his Twitter handle.
He also goes by the Red Dream. That's Jay here loves calling him the Red Dream.
Anderson throws him a 1-2, and Turner leaves it high, 2-2. Well, Turner no longer leading the National League batting race. Went 0 for 5 yesterday, and Charlie Blackmon kept on hitting. .390 since the All-Star break for the Colorado center fielder, and he now leads the batting race. Curve is just a little bit high, and the count is full. Pokes one against the shift for a base hit. And 3 infielders on the left side, and Turner just swatted it the other way.
That's a beautiful thing and feels so good when you get a breaking ball and you're able to just, even if you're a little bit out in front, but still barreled it up. You're like, all right, I put this in play, and I put it in play in the perfect spot, beating the shift.
And now Grandal, YRG Jr., the name on his back. That's in honor of his son that'll be born in November. His wife Heather doing well, about 30 weeks right now. Due date is Yasmani's birthday, November 8th. It's also very convenient within the baseball schedule.
Yes, it is.
He acknowledged, though, now you know the babies can come early, so hopefully it goes the full term. And Yasmani's finished for the fall.
They don't listen, even when they're in the womb.
And nothing changes after. 1-1. Part of him hopes that he's totally clear to be there for the birth. Part of him hopes that it's a really close call.
Right.
Right. I mean, the Dodgers are playing deep into October. In fact, Game 7 of the World Series, I believe, November 1st. A 1-1 inside, ball 2. Blue and red bat for Yasmani.
He didn't get the Miami one.
Ryan took it.
Yeah. There's just one.
No score in the first. Here comes a 2-1 from Chase Anderson. Grandal takes low, and it's 3-1. It's been heating up. 4 home runs in his last 7 games, including yesterday. Went back-to-back with Adrian Gonzalez. Thanking his mom and his dad for getting him here. Another cool thing about these jerseys is that patch on the right sleeve where they get to write in who they're most thankful to. 3-1. Strike two.
Took something off of it on that 3-1 count. The one thing here in the 3-2, get a head start by Justin Turner over in first base, and he's able to get one in the gap, possibly score him.
There he goes. Here it comes. Grandal hits a high pop fly. Neil Walker, actually to be Arcia, the shortstop, playing on the right side to catch it and bring it into the first inning. We're off and rolling in Los Angeles, and no score through one. Board these teams since 2014. In the 23 games, Dodgers have won 12 of them, but about every category is dead even.
When you look at the series over in Milwaukee earlier this year, where the Dodgers ended up winning that series, taking 2 out of 3, but it wasn't like they ran away with those wins. They had to come back. There were some close games over there in Milwaukee. And I expect the same here because, you know, one, the Dodgers still have not clinched their spot in the playoffs, and as we show where the Brewers are in the division, they're not leading the division. They're behind, but only by 3 games. There's a lot of baseball left.
Middle part of the order against Kenta Maeda in the second. Travis Shaw takes a nice curveball for a strike. Yeah, the Dodgers won the opener in Milwaukee 2-1, but in 12 innings, that was a night where Clayton Kershaw struck out a ton and got a late home run from Grandal to tie it, and a late home run from Bellinger to win it. And in game 2 is the huge 9th inning comeback, capped by the grand slam from Chris Taylor before the Brewers beat Maeda on the final day. Oh-2. Strike 3. Maeda's K'd 3 of the first 4 that he's faced.
The same pitch he went with Thames on the inner half. That two-seam fastball that starts off as a ball off the plate and then tails back over and catches the corner. Maeda also got Ryan Braun swinging on a 3rd strike, and it was the same pitch. It was down in the zone. It was a fastball. And also that run, he swung over and missed.
Domingo Santana looks at ball 1. Showmingo is the nickname Ryan Braun gave him when he came over from the Houston Astros a couple of years ago. One ball and 1 strike. Santana struggling lately, though. 175 over the last month. One and two.
So far, Kenta Maeda has shown the command with that fastball. We've seen him go in on left-handers. We also see him go in on right-handers, down and in, and then they're up in the zone.
With good life to it. And now his 1-2 is hit deep to right, sending Puig back onto the warning track. It's gone. Domingo Santana goes the other way with a solo home run.
Joe, you know they're going to say that's our fault because we were talking about the command he's had with the fastball. This is the first time he actually missed. You're looking for that fastball up. Watch where this ball goes. It was right down the middle of the plate, right in the heart of the plate. And at first, when you heard it come off the bat, you didn't think it was gonna carry that far. He definitely squared it up, carried for him right into the Brewer bullpen.
Kind of reaction Maeda gave too, like, really? Traveled that far? So the Brewers strike first, and now Stephen Vogt takes strike one. Came over from Oakland earlier this year. Guy that two years in a row was an all-star, but then got off to a rough start this season, and the A's cut him loose. That's a strike. 0-2. Brewers very happily picked him up. Got off to a great start, but then went on the disabled list. Suffered a knee injury, actually in a home plate collision with the guy the Dodgers saw yesterday, Chad Kuhl, pitcher of the Pirates. Swinging a hot bat since coming off.
Well, we were talking about the Brewers and how many home runs and where they rank in the NL. We were talking about them coming in with 185 home runs as a team, ranking second. But you were also talking about they rely on the home run an awful lot. When you look at what their runs that they've scored or average runs that they scored, they only average around 4 runs a game.
Below league average.
Yeah, despite those home runs.
Another 0-2 to Stephen Vogt. Wrapped it around the plate for ball one. Vogt has on the back of his jersey, "I believe." That's a chant that they started in Oakland. He was a fan favorite there. They used to chant, "I believe in Stephen Vogt. I believe in Stephen Vogt." Went from somebody who barely latched on in Tampa Bay to traded from there, wound up in Oakland, finally took off. They loved him. That's an opposite side line drive caught by Turner for the second out.
Well, good scouting report, good placement. JT has that one easily, just watches it all the way into the mid.
Two outs for Keon Broxton, who is FLA boy today. He's from Florida. Look at those socks. Ball one.
Those are the same ones that Yasiel Puig is wearing, right?
Yeah. They're from a company called Stance.
Yeah, and I was just wondering though where those colors came from. I wonder if there was anybody, you know, did they?
Right.
because since Yasiel Puig's wearing the same color, same size, obviously they probably gave them all options and put them in there. But I'm wondering, is it everybody? I'm just trying to think about the colors where they can't, you know, how they design them, because a lot of them. I was thinking about the Pittsburgh Pirates. What I thought was really cool when they played Pittsburgh over the weekend, they were the ones that played in that Little League game against the Cardinals over there in Williamsport. And like some of the shoes, they had like some of the Little Leaguers designing them for them or signing them, and they played.
There's a little fly ball to right. Yasiel Puig with it tailing away from him, runs it down. And this Players Weekend opener continues with the Brewers in front 1-0. It'll be Gonzalez, Puig, and Logie Bear Forsythe coming up after this. As the Brewers in front as we go to the bottom of the second. Joe, Nomar, and Kelly on a perfect Friday night. Adrian Gonzalez leads off the inning against Chase Anderson and takes a strike. Going by LT Tan this weekend. Went to Eastlake High School in San Diego. They were the Titans. Ball on a strike. And Eduardo Ortega, who's a Spanish radio voice of the Padres, gave him the nickname after a couple of years in San Diego. Dropped the Eastlake part, went with LT Tan. 1-2.
And LT Tan hit a home run yesterday, and the Dodgers were able to go back-to-back in the 8th inning against the Pirates. 2 huge runs. Even them, those insurance runs down the stretch.
And a 5-2 win. They took 3 of 4 from the Pirates. The one loss, Rich Hill had a perfect game into the 9th and a no-hitter into the 10th. Full count.
You're also talking about Adrian, how he's coming off the DL. Wondering if he missed a beat. And see Rich Hill, and we all remember the game he had over the series in Pittsburgh. But how he's really been looking pretty good at the plate, squaring the ball up.
Here's the payoff. Hard hit ground ball into center for a leadoff single. Speaking of squaring it up, it does. And the leadoff man aboard in front of Yasiel Puig.
It's a 3-2 count. It's that fastball that runs over the middle of the plate. And he takes it back up the middle. Doesn't pull off of that ball. Just takes it right back up the middle. We actually were talking about him over when he did come back as well. Him hitting a lot of balls up the middle. He turned on one over there in Pittsburgh, but early on when he was over there in Detroit, took a couple fly balls, took some going with the pitches. He had some deep fly balls in Pittsburgh in center field as well.
First one to Puig is a strike. He had the home run yesterday and then just missed a grand slam to straightaway center. There's another ball that he hit yesterday that landed on the warning track. Puig had a home run in Pittsburgh as well to win the game on Monday night in 12 innings. Breaking ball ripped to left, base hit. 2 on and nobody out in the second.
Yasiel Puig, he's on that road trip. He was swinging a hot bat the entire road trip. He's actually just been swinging a hot bat pretty much when you look at the second half, just the all-star break. But he has looked so different at the plate this year. And Turner Ward has a lot to do with it. And he's the reason why he gets a lot of kisses on the cheek when Yasiel hits one out of the park. And I don't think he minds. I know Doc doesn't mind. Dave Roberts doesn't mind.
Win-win for him.
Exactly. Go ahead. Give him a kiss on the cheek. That means we're high-fiving you after you cross home plate.
Here's Forsythe, and there's strike one. How about Logie Bear for Logan? Apparently his now wife gave him the nickname when he was in Tampa Bay, and somebody in the clubhouse got wind of it that she called him Logie Bear. Game over once that happens. Once a teammate picks up on that, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Had one to hit, fouled it off 0-2.
You think he was like, oh, so you heard that, huh? Oh, yes, I did. Hey, just let's keep that between us, right? You and I, that's it. We'll just leave it at that. I don't think so.
Two on and nobody out. Anderson brings him an 0-2. Didn't miss by much. Ball one. On deck, Hernandez. Dodgers trying to answer right back after the Brewers run in the top of this inning. On 1-2. That's ball two. Dodgers have won 24 of their last 29 games since the beginning of June. 22 consecutive series without a loss. The record during that stretch is 55-11. And at this point, we don't even really have to give you those splits for it to be extraordinary. We can just give you their record. How about 90-36 since opening day? That sounds pretty impressive too. The 2-2. That is just foul, and it's still 2 balls, 2 strikes.
How close was it? That close.
Not been too many guys on this roster with worse luck this year. I don't know that that's luck necessarily, but close calls than Logan Forsythe, lining into some tough outs, just missing doubles like that. Robbed a couple of times in the Rich Hill game the other night. He's worked it full. After Gonzalez and Puig singled, Anderson got ahead of Forsythe 0-2. Logie Bears worked it back full, and now a 3-2. Got him swinging.
Anderson just challenged him with the fastball. He came right at him. And the hitter, after you work at 3-2, it's exactly where you want it. I mean, it was right down the middle. Logan unable to catch up to it.
This was an easy one as far as the nameplate goes. Enrique is his given name. Kike is what he goes by, and he put Kike on the back. It's also his dad's nickname, his grandpa's nickname. "364 days till his next birthday." Celebrated a fun 26th yesterday with a couple of base hits, knocked in a run, and earned himself another start against a right-handed pitcher. It's the first time since June, Nomar, that he's made back-to-back starts against righties.
Yeah, and you look at, I mean, he had some really good at-bats. Not only was he 2 for 4, also worked the walk, scored a run, so he had an RBI in yesterday's game. But also, too, the versatility, as we show off the versatility of colors in his socks and shoes, but that he provides for this team. I mean, he was able to give Corey Seager a day off yesterday playing shortstop, and then today it's Curtis Granderson out there in left field.
Here's a 1-0 pitch. Ball 2. Good day for Granderson to have off. Remember, this is his first day actually in Los Angeles, so first day in the clubhouse, first day checking into the hotel where he'll be staying, at least for the short term, and just trying to get settled in.
And I guarantee you, Dave Roberts told him yesterday, just to get his mind right, just to say, listen, tomorrow you're going to have the day off, so I want you to just kind of take it all in. It's new environment. As well, no, you're going to get over here trying to get used to it. Going to be in the hotel. And that's always nice. It's very thoughtful.
And knowing what we know about Curtis, he probably said, no, put me in there.
Yeah, I'm fine. And Dave Roberts probably, no, I insist.
2 on with 1 out and a 3-0 pitch. Green lighted, got a fastball and fouled it back, strike 1.
I like it. What I really like is just all the number of 3-0 swings we have seen this Dodger team take throughout this season. I mean, Dave Roberts has encouraged it, has supported it, almost enforced it. It's pretty much like we want to see it. And early on, even at spring training, he was telling guys who don't like to do it, really, he's like, listen, I want you to try it. It's okay. I'm not going to get mad if you get out. I'm telling you, go ahead. Might be the best pitch you see that at bat. I want you to do some damage. He believed everybody could do some damage.
And they have. Much of the year they've been among the leaders in baseball on 3-0 home runs. Here comes a 3-2 from Chase Anderson, and it's strike 3. Back-to-back pitches to the outer half to get Hernandez 2 out.
Pitcher number 18.
Well, I think this is a perfect example of what we're talking about when you get 3-0. The 3-0 pitch was the one that was right down the middle. It was the best pitch of the at-bat. He fouls it off. And then he comes with a breaking ball in the corner. Nice pitch. And then the fastball and paints the corner to get him for strike 3. So it was just unfortunate that Kike missed the one pitch he could handle.
So after the back-to-back singles started the inning, Forsythe and Hernandez both striking out. So it's up to Maeda, who fouls the first pitch.
You know what's impressive when you look at that line? And it's like impressive when you see 125, 4 RBIs. No, 1 strikeout this year.
And it didn't happen until one of his most recent games.
I think it might have been his last outing. I'm trying to remember.
Maybe his last home outing. Last one would have been DH. His last outing here.
Right.
And really, that's what you want from a pitcher, right? Just put it in play, make the defense make a play on it. Maybe see a few pitches. That's what Clayton Kershaw is trying to establish for the entire pitching staff up there. Setting the example of trying to make the pitcher work at the very least. He does again. The ground ball is short. Arcia hanging over. Dodgers unable to take advantage of the back-to-back singles to start the inning and trail 1-0 after 2. Dodgers baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by the all-new 2017 Chrysler Pacifica. LA is brought to you by the all-new 2017 Chrysler Pacifica, the new benchmark of minivans, and by Jack in the Box. Come try the new $4.99 Smoky Jack Burger Combo, a small fries and a small drink, limited time only. On this Players Weekend, the Dodgers with a 1-0 deficit as we go to the third inning. Domingo Santana's home run against Maeda, the only base runner for Milwaukee. It's also accounted for the game's only run. El Nino, Orlando Arcia leads off this inning. 8-9-1 for the Brewers coming up. Top prospect in the Milwaukee system coming into the year, and just turned 23 years old. Has not disappointed in his first opportunity in the bigs. Strike one. One and one. Maeda back-to-back games allowing 4 runs. The full body of work the last couple of months, really impressive. ERA in the mid-2s. It's ahead of Arcia 1-2. Mentioned the word conviction again. Dave Roberts has used that with him and Ryu. Both guys that had to go into the bullpen earlier this year to try and instill a little more of that into him.
And I think it did. I mean, I think when him and Ryu, I think that was some of the advice that Dave Roberts wanted to instill in both of those guys. And I think putting them in the bullpen, they realized, well, wait a minute.
That pitch is pummeled to deep left field. Hernandez runs it down on the warning track. On the screws, but a little bit too low. 1 out.
We're going to take a look at our Volkswagen replay as Kike Hernandez. We talked about him, the versatility that he's provided this Dodger lineup and team. Played shortstop yesterday to give Corey Seager a day off. Today it's Curtis Granderson as he runs that down, and you saw Kenta kind of breathe a sigh of relief that Kike ran that down for him.
That one seemed a heck of a lot harder hit than the home run.
I was thinking the same thing. How much louder did that one sound compared to the home run where you're like, all right, that's a fly ball to the bullpen.
The bullpen. Yeah. Chase Anderson behind 0-2. Take a listen.
Yeah, that was loud.
Exit velocity of 104. Anything above 95 is considered hard hit. Maeda gets a strikeout, his fourth. 2 out.
Well, fans, you can commemorate this inaugural Players Weekend at MLBshop.com with limited edition Dodger jerseys and tees featuring players' picked nicknames. Wear the gear the players are wearing on field this weekend. Available while supplies last at MLBshop.com.
I know Kelly mentioned it off at the top of these game-worn jerseys will be auctioned off. Eric Thames turns on a fly ball, right field. Puig on the run. He makes the catch. The wild horse running loose in the right center field gap to take away extra bases from Thames. Highest winning percentage in a manager's first 289 games. Nice round number. Since 1900, Dave Roberts sits 6th.
Yeah, well, it doesn't surprise me when you look at the historic run that the Dodgers are having this year. Him winning the division last year with this team. How about the fact, though, that last year when the Dodgers won 90 games, it was the walk-off by Charlie Culberson. That was the 90th win here at home plate. It was Vin's final game here at Dodger Stadium. August 25th. 90.
Yeah. 2 wins short of their total last year, which won the division comfortably. Second time through the order. Here's Chris Taylor. One ball and 1 strike. Here's your nightly reminder of the pace that they're on. They're on pace to match the all-time record. 116. 1906 Cubs. 2001 Mariners. 2-1 on Chris Taylor.
I get asked, you know, what does it mean if they win 116? You think they're shooting for it? I said, no, they started. It's all about the World Series. That's what they're thinking. If they get it, great. But that's not what they're shooting for right now. And I'm sure that's what Dave Roberts feels. It's like, listen, first of all, he goes, we'll be a bit cliche. We'll take it one day at a time. And they really have, and that has been their thought process. But down the stretch, he's not going to, it's getting close, he's not going to be worried about it. He's worried about. He's going to be worried about the postseason. He's going to be worried about getting guys ready, getting healthy.
Yanked down the left field line. It's foul.
Somebody has to tell Adrian Johnson down there at third base to quit raising his hands.
Yeah, this is Players Weekend.
Let's go. It's Players Weekend. Let's go. You know, he keeps raising them up foul, and he's been right both times. Oh. He's not smiling. Last time he was foul, he was chuckling because he was. Dave Roberts was joking with him. So we're joking with you up here, AJ.
Of course.
Yeah.
Dodgers in franchise history have won 100 games 6 times in 133 years. They have 36 games left. They can go 10-26 and still win 100. A 2-2 pitch and a foul ball.
I'm sorry, I chuckled to myself because you're like, wow, like look at you think about that. And I don't think they're going to. It's not the way they've been playing, but it's still 100 wins if you have that record the rest of the way. 10-26.
Yep. Taylor stays alive. To set a franchise record, they could go 16-20. They'd have the best record in the 133-year history, or at least the most wins. Record is from 1953 when they won 105. The only other 100-win seasons, 1941, 1942. You got to go way back before that, 1899. And they've won 100 twice in LA. Taylor down swinging on a fastball. 1962, 1974, the only 100-win seasons in LA Dodger history.
Number 5, Corey Seager.
Third K for Chase Anderson, and with one out, Corey Seager climbs in. Season high 12-game hitting streak going for Seager. Only one extra base hit for him over the last few weeks, but the power around him in the lineup and the pitching they've gotten, kind of don't even realize it. Nothing in 2.
Well, that's true, but you actually just look, you look at his average over that 12-game hitting streak, batting .352. All right, one extra base hit, 9 RBIs though over those 12 games.
He's had some really timely singles. Reaches out, flips a soft fly ball into left. Ryan Braun still coming, won't get there. Another Seager single. It comes with one out in the third to extend the hitting streak to 13.
And that's how you extend it to 13 right there. And it's so funny because I know you mentioned the other night where he ranks as far as hard hit balls in the major leagues. Isn't he like number 1?
Yeah.
And that one proves it right there. He's number 1 on squaring the ball up and hitting it hard.
What was our line? What was kind of the theme of the Pittsburgh series?
Yeah,
that's baseball.
That's baseball. And CT3 has T-shirts that sometimes say the barrel is overrated.
So after the Seager single, here's Turner. Chase Anderson's pitch is low, ball 1. One and one. Chase Texas Anderson tonight. From Wichita Falls, Texas. Town of about 100,000. Northern part of the state. Prominent Air Force base there. I know you know a little something about Wichita Falls. You may have heard of one of the famous alums. Her name is Mia Hamm.
Yep, she's. If you ask her where did she grow up, her father was in the Air Force, moved around a lot, but she say mostly in Wichita Falls, Texas.
2-1 on Turner. Produced Texas Governor Greg Abbott. Produced Ohio State quarterback J.T. Barrett. And it produced Chase Anderson. He's 29 years old now in his 4th season in the majors. If you are wondering why you're familiar with him, it's because he debuted in the division with Arizona 2014 and 15, and then was traded to Milwaukee for Gene Segura. He's fallen behind Turner 3-1.
You're talking about if you're familiar with as Dodger fans. Yeah, he's had 8 starts versus the Dodgers over the course of his career.
They've not gone very well. ERA near 6. He's walked Turner, and the Dodgers have them at 1st and 2nd. Now the first free pass of the night issued by Anderson. And up comes Yasmani Grandal. New walk-up song for Yasmani.
Players Weekend, change it up. The Dodgers, another opportunity, runners in scoring position. So far 0 for 3 in today's game. They had a run there in the series against Pittsburgh where they were 0 for 13 with runners in scoring position. That one game with Rich Hill game, they were 0 for 9 with runners in scoring position. Had an awful lot of opportunities.
Grandal goes after the first pitch and fouls it back. It's always going to be known as that, isn't it? When you say the Rich Hill game,
yeah,
people are going to know what one you're talking about.
Or will they think about the one last year in Miami?
I think this one was so unique.
Yes, I agree.
Of course, that could change in October. It could be a new Rich Hill game. He hopes.
And for Dodger fans, they're hoping, they're saying that as it's a victory in the postseason. And they're hoping for a World Series victory. It's one of those as well.
Anderson trying to bully his way out of trouble like he did last inning. Instead, finesse. 2 out.
Get ahead with the fastball and then finish him off with the breaking ball.
Number 23.
First time we've actually seen him finish off a Dodger batter with the breaking ball. Everything else has been the fastball. He's challenged a few hitters straight with the fastball. He's painted with the fastball.
So it's up to Gonzalez with 2 on and 2 out. They were talking about Hill trying to kind of redefine Rich Hill game in October. We told the story of the man he'll always be connected to now, and Harvey Haddix, who pitched 12 perfect innings before losing in the 13th. Well, it's still remembered as the Harvey Haddix game, but you can also talk about Game 7 of the World Series the following year when Haddix was the winning pitcher. And Rich Hill hopes to have a similar fate. It's inside and ball 1 on Gonzalez. These are the spots where through the years Gonzalez has been so good. Seager at second and Turner at first. A 1-0 and a big bouncer caught off by Arcia in and over. Dodgers strand 2 more. We've played 3, 1-0.
I know I'm a little biased. We have Logie Bear, the Silver Fox. Those are definitely some of my favorite nicknames I've seen for the Dodgers. But around the league, the guys have done such a good job of coming up with their nicknames as we take a look at the Unlimited Baseball Break brought to you by T-Mobile. How about this one? Corey's brother from Kyle Seager. He said he had to do that because Corey's was so boring. He decided to be Corey's brother. And then this one, All Rise from Aaron Judge, only fitting, and Max Scherzer rounding it out with Blue Eye. It's pretty perfect. What do you think, Joey D?
I like, wow. I think that's not a good one.
I love it.
Josh Fegley, player to be named later, which he was.
I do like that one.
Come on, Corey. Strike 1 on Neil Walker opening the 4th. The Silver Fox for Chase. Yeah, we all saw that. We're like, wow, he's embracing it. How cool. No, he let Corey choose one for him. And Corey, I think, embraced it.
Well, he said, hey, you should go with Silver Fox.
Yeah. Walker lifts one to right. Puig. Oh, my goodness, one out.
Sorry.
I've got Orioles' take on this.
Uh-huh.
What's yours on Puig playing balls like that?
Well, on that one, I don't know. Usually, that one, I don't know if he just misread it.
Okay,
and then came up with that one. But usually he just kind of, goes and he catches it near his chest. I think what we've seen him play Gold Glove caliber out there in the outfield. We see him in the last inning track that ball down in the right center. You can get away with it. The only time when you don't is you don't miss it. You can't miss it. But I also think now people accept, like, you know what, this, for him, it's almost like his personality that he, of who he is.
Braun off the end of the bat. Little pinball shot over there that Gonzalez takes to the bag. It's almost like his outlet, like the last bastion of the old Puig.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying. Yeah. But listen, I mean, like I said, it's okay when you're not dropping those. Your pitchers and teammates don't mind when, but when that one does happen,
might be the end of it.
It's definitely magnified. No,
yeah.
I'm just saying it's magnified so much
doubt.
more.
And you hope that if it does happen, it's in September and not October.
Correct.
2 outs. Travis Shaw. Ball 1.
But it's entertaining.
Sure is. I love it.
It's entertaining. And like I said, seeing the other, I mean, we already saw one today when he tracked that ball down in right center. And gosh, we've seen it over the road trip. We've seen it all year long. Just the unbelievable plays that he has made, sacrificing the body. He doesn't care if he's going through a wall. Sometimes doesn't care if he's going through a teammate.
Yeah,
and then the arm. That's just him tracking the ball down. And then we all know the incredible arm.
Got to be careful on this 2-0. A powerful Shaw up there. It's low, ball 3. And I think it'd be one thing if he was loafing after balls and he was still throwing to the wrong base frequently, or, you know, making errors on other plays. But he's so amazing defensively that it's almost like, all right, that's fun. Okay.
You know who was like that and they started to accept it because he was winning Gold Gloves and he made incredible plays. It was over there in the Atlanta, Andrew Jones in center field. He used to do the same thing, kind of catch some the routine ones or the easy ones like that. And there were some he's dropped them too, and then they really got on him. And I remember there was one time early in his career he did drop them, and Bobby Cox sat him down, took him out. Let's go, sit down.
Mid-game.
Yep.
Maeda looking for a 1-2-3 4th inning. Shakes a couple of times. Now has one that he likes and is 3-2. Only one base runner for the Brewers. It was the home run from Santana. So Maeda, who was perfect through 5 against Detroit last weekend, is perfect other than that homer. Almost through 4. Another 3-2 to Shaw. Didn't miss by much, but it's his first walk. I mentioned the Santana home run. Here it is, and we look back on our Carl's cam. I promise.
And we talk about up until this point, Maeda was showing a lot of command with that fastball, hitting it, pitching it up and in, down and away. That one they wanted it up, and that was over the middle of the plate. Santana squared it up, and we talked about too. At first off the bat, we didn't think it was going to carry that far, and next thing you know, the bullpen had a souvenir.
It was not hit as hard, I checked, as the RCA line drive to start the 3rd, but right kind of loft to it. Right kind of spin on it. Plenty of spin there. 1-1. One and two. Thank God for fine tip pens.
Talking about on his sleeve.
Very thankful. His 10 people listed on there.
Don't want to leave anybody out.
Right.
So if he had to give an acceptance speech, would the music start playing as he's reading through them?
The music was playing as he was writing on his jersey. Maeda's 2-2. That's a full count. One of the names he has on there is his own, but it's also his father's name, who was a minor league outfielder in the Astros organization. You see their top right, Domingo Santana. It's his dad. Also has Redbone, Sam, Brock, and Butte on there. Able to lay off, and back-to-back 2-out walks has him at first and second. Tomorrow night, fight of the year as Floyd Mayweather takes on Conor McGregor in Las Vegas. And you can order this pay-per-view event now with your remote control or by going to spectrum.com/PPV boxing. Who you got?
You know, it's definitely going to be interesting, but I think everybody's leaning toward obviously Mayweather. It's just going to be It's hard for somebody to go in MMA who knows all sorts of different disciplines, numerous disciplines, and utilizes all sorts of them when they fight, and then just have to focus on one and against somebody who's been doing that their entire life, and not only just has done it their entire life, is arguably one of the best ever at it. I have to give it to him, and I'm sure a lot of people feel that way too.
Can we do like a best of 7, a 2-2, 1-1-1, boxing, MMA, so on, ball one on Stephen Vogt?
Well, I'm just, and I know, but I'm going. I was going. If you're McGregor or any MMA, you know, there's a trigger that goes on you when you have to step in that ring and you're fighting that opponent, and then all of a sudden that you're going to see that opening where it could be a kick, and you don't,
right.
you don't throw it, or there's a takedown.
Slash foul, 1-1.
You know, where instinct kicks in, you know.
Literally.
Right.
Vogt line to third his first time. He has Shaw at second and Santana at first, and a 1-0 game in the fourth. Blink and you'll miss this homestand. Dodgers and Brewers playing 3. That is it. Dodgers back to the road in a stretch where they play 14 of 17 away from Dodger Stadium. Two and 1. Maeda here in the fourth has really lost that tempo.
And that's the other thing you notice from Maeda over the course of this season. We talked about throwing the fastball, throwing his pitches with conviction. And all of a sudden he starts losing that confidence, and that tempo definitely starts to change.
Vogt rips it foul and the count evens.
You know, for Maeda, it happens a lot more when he has men on base. But we have seen it earlier in the season, where even when he didn't have men on base, when he was going in the windup, there was a slower tempo, because it seemed like he was always either second guessing himself or always thinking about every pitch, or just not confident with the pitch that either Yasmani is going with or the one he has in his mind.
Full count. He retired 11 of the first 12 that he faced, then walked Shaw, walked Santana. He's gone full on Vogt and has screeched to a halt in the process.
Right there, yeah, you got to come out and just talk and say, listen, let's get on the same page. Already, he did that the last pitch as well. He didn't look like he really wanted to throw that slider either. He kept shaking up Yasmani Grandal. Now with a man on second, this is a big pitch. You have a man who's been on second base. You might just go, listen, maybe after so many pitches and after me shaking off so much, he actually can pick up the sign. So let's just talk about it. Let's get on the same page. They may not even give a sign here, and try to make this big pitch, execute this pitch.
Yeah, what do you want to throw? All right, let's do it. A payoff. Vogt pops it up. And so they will get out of this inning with Justin Turner making the catch. A 1-0 game to the bottom of the fourth. Motley. Dodgers and Major League Baseball honored him before the game. He's the only surviving umpire from the Negro Leagues. The last surviving umpire from the Negro Leagues, now 94 years old. Umpired from 1947 to 1958. Bob went to an integrated umpiring school and recognized the first year that he was in the Negro Leagues, 1947, of course, when Jackie Robinson broke in. He figured that after Jackie broke the color barrier for players that it wouldn't be long before umpires had a chance too, but he never got that opportunity. Eventually retired home in Kansas City. Umpired locally there, different leagues, into his 70s. Yasiel Puig takes ball one, and away we go in the fourth.
He got a huge ovation.
Yeah, sure did.
From the Dodger fans, and well deserved, and rightly so.
Ball and a strike on Puig. He wrote a book called Ruling Over Monarchs, Giants, and Stars. Houston Mitchell on LATimes.com had an excerpt from that book today. There was a game in Kansas City, home of the Monarchs, that he was umpiring, and for whatever reason, and he said it escaped his memory what that reason was, but the crowd thought that it was Bob Motley's fault on this given day that the Monarchs had lost the game. And so as he's getting ready to leave the field, it starts raining glass Coca-Cola bottles from the crowd. Puig takes strike three, one gone in the fourth. 15,000 people, and it seemed like every one of them bought a Coca-Cola and was hurling it towards the field at Bob Motley. So a couple of the players grabbed him. They ran out to second base where nobody had the arm strength to get it to. Kind of stood there and thought, well, what do we do? Do we wait on them to run out of Coca-Cola to throw at us, or do we take off? And so the three of them sprinted out to center field, leaped over the center field fence, and escaped. He's back in Kansas City the next week, and he said it was like nothing ever happened. That's a high fly ball to deep left center. Logan Forsythe has tied this game. Logie Bear strikes, and it's 1-1 in the fourth.
Well, Chase Anderson has been attacking these Dodger hitters with that fastball. You got Yasiel Puig who strikes him out looking on the at-bat before. But Logie Bear looks at this one go out to left center.
And now Hernandez takes ball one.
Wanted that ball on the outer half. It runs in, misses his spot. Logie Bear does not. Texas has to go home and say, I gave up a home run to Logie Bear.
Not a place you want to go back having given up a Logie Bear.
Yeah. How'd it go, Texas? Well, a guy named Logie Bear got me.
2-0. Ball three. Strike one. Hernandez got ahead 3-0 his first time and eventually struck out looking on back-to-back fastballs to the outside corner. Blown by him, 3-2. And for the second time, he gets ahead 3-0 and winds up striking out looking.
Number 18, Maeda.
It's now 6 total for Anderson, and with 2 away, Maeda comes up. That's a high fly ball to left, but playable for Ryan Braun, and the inning is over. But the Dodgers have tied the game on a Logan Forsythe home run. We are through with 4, and after his 4th of the season, it's 1-1. Sportsnet LA is brought to you by your Southern California Toyota dealers. Save big on a reliable new 2017 Camry, now at Toyota's National Clearance Event. Bottom of the order coming up for the Brewers in a 1-1 game here in the 5th. We were talking about Bob Motley and the Dodgers honoring him earlier tonight. Last surviving umpire from the Negro Leagues, although never made it to the major leagues. And reading about him today, I started thinking, well, who did? Who was the first to break the color barrier as far as umpires go? Emmett Ashford was the guy's name. Very first African-American umpire in the major leagues. He's actually an LA native, broke in 1966. So it took almost 2 full decades after Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier in the majors for players, for an umpire to do the same. Keon Broxton leads off this 5th against Maeda. And let me tell you, what a fascinating character this Emmett Ashford sounds like he was. Ball 1. So he dabbled at umpiring when he was working as a post office clerk in Los Angeles in the 1930s, early 1940s, before he joined the Navy during World War II. It was just kind of a side job for him. Made it his goal, though, to reach the majors when he was stationed in Texas during the war, and heard a radio announcement about Jackie Robinson having signed and getting ready to break the color barrier for players. So right then he made it his goal. Ground ball to short. Corey Seager. And just in time to get Broxton. Keep in mind, this is 20 years before he reaches that goal. So he bounces around the minor leagues, much of them independent at that time, and doesn't get the call up until the 1960s. But what's really fascinating about him is hearing how he did the job, what kind of flair he umpired with. He's the first guy, the writers say, that fans would buy a ticket to come see, at least first umpire that fans wanted to come watch at the games. Constantly in motion. He used to sprint down the right field line when he was behind the plate between innings just to keep his legs loose. Arcia takes a strike. He would sprint down foul balls when he was a base umpire. In fact, Frank Robinson once said, this Ashford gets better jumps than my center fielder does. Leap over the mound when he was headed back out between innings to second base if he happened to come in for anything. Even when Ashford would brush the plate, he'd do it with flair. He'd bend over, he'd clean it up, and then he'd pirouette on one foot back to his spot. about the called strike motion? Had to be distinct, right? Hearing all this.
Of course.
It's outside. It's 1-2.
You're telling me he didn't shuffle and give me the,
Not quite. So apparently the way it sounds like it was like a karate chop with his right hand, and then as if he was a train conductor pulling on the horn a couple of times. So to call a strike.
He pulled down on it and ended with a karate chop.
Start with a karate chop, pull, strike.
Wow. So it was the chop first.
With a really, really high-pitched voice saying strike 3. It's quite a personality, sounds like. Emmett Ashford, the first African-American Major League umpire. Tries to lay off here and does, and it's 2-2.
And you were talking about the karate chop. And the third strike. There was umpire Durwood Merrill. So people remember Durwood Merrill. Super nice guy. Umpired in the big leagues for quite a long time. And I remember early in my career coming up, and I remember Mo Vaughn, he was behind home plate, and he would kind of do a karate chop when he'd call strike 3. Durwood would. And I remember Mo Vaun yelling at him before the game, Durwood, you are not karate chopping me tonight. You are not going to, just joking around with him. So.
Garcia stays alive. I guess at Ashford's first Major League spring training, he was doing a game in Tucson, and he was known for early on in his career, like interacting with the crowd even. Kind of really just being a showman. He was an umpire, but he'd also put on a bit of a show. And at one of his very first spring training games, there's an argument from one of the managers as Arcia down, swinging, 2 out. Well, Ashford takes off his hat, bows to the crowd behind home plate, and says in that high-pitched voice, ladies and gentlemen, the manager was merely questioning the strategy of the opposing manager. That's all. I thank you. Put his hat back on, turned around, and continued to call the game. With 2 outs, Chase Anderson. Ground ball to second. Logan Forsythe. 1-2-3. Go the Brewers here in the top of the 5th. Ashford umpired 5 years in the majors. Even did a World Series in 1970. To the bottom of the 5th. Hope you're enjoying this Players Weekend as much as we are. It's a long year, right? There's 162 games. It's kind of a fun way to break it up.
It really is. I mean, they're really incorporating about having fun. It's reminding us about this game. It is a kids game, and they're talking about these shirts kind of resemble the Little League World Series shirts as well. And we talk about the colorful socks. We talk about 6 secondary colors that they're using on the ball caps throughout the year, throughout Players Weekend. Those socks incorporate all 6 of those colors. You got colorful shoes to help them show off some of their personality as well as players. Some of their, maybe not those, no, but other ones. No, but they, you know what's great is the players are having a lot of fun with it, having their nicknames on the back. They've embraced it, and that's what it's about.
So 3rd trip through the order for the Dodgers. First time through, plenty of traffic, but only 1 run to show for it on Logan Forsythe's home run. Chris Taylor 0 for 2. High fly ball to center. Broxton started back at first, now on. 1 pitch and 1 out.
Well, Dodger fans, the Great Dodger Moments coin collection presented by 76 continues on tomorrow versus the Brewers. The first 40,000 fans in attendance will receive the 7th coin in the series, commemorating Rick Monday's saving the American flag from the burn in Dodger Stadium. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
One out for Seager. Ball 1. Corey extended his hitting streak to 13 games with a bloop single in the 3rd. Dodgers have 5 hits and a walk against Chase Anderson. But they left 2 on in the 2nd. They left 2 on in the 3rd. Looks like Shaw has room. He does, and Seager's the 2nd out.
Third baseman, Justin Turner.
Turner's reached both times against Anderson with a single in the 1st and a walk in the 3rd. I've seen Texas on Anderson's shirt. Reminds me that we should send our best wishes to anybody in Texas watching in the path of the hurricane. Two and 0. Chase from the northern part of the state. Wichita Falls not necessarily in trouble, but Corpus Christi, Houston area, the whole Gulf region not looking good. Three balls, no strikes.
Let's see if Chase Anderson is careful with Justin Turner here in a 3-0 count.
Pretty good pitch, 3-1.
I was thinking he might go off speed, challenge him with the fastball, and hit the bottom part of the zone. Also a good take from Justin Turner. That was a pitcher's pitch more than a hitter's pitch.
Full count.
And then you get one that you like, that you know you can handle. That's what's frustrating, and you foul it off. And that was one of the reasons why Dave Roberts also wanted guys to swing 3-0. We talked about that may be the best pitch you see, but also in those situations that if you foul it off, you're still now in a 3-1 count, still in a hitter's count compared to like, okay, now it's 3-2. Now you're a two strike approach.
Fly ball on the right field line. Santana, a long run, won't get there. Turner stays alive. We were talking earlier about how aggressive the Dodgers have been on 3-0 counts. They lead the majors in putting 3-0 pitches in play. Lead the majors in getting hits on 3-0 pitches, and lead the majors in homering on 3-0 pitches, which they've done 4 times this year. Turner's homered against Anderson before. With the bases empty and 2 gone in the 5th, he waits on another 3-2. He's walked and reached all 3 times tonight.
Catcher, Yasmani Grandal.
Two outs for Grandal. Would only hit cleanup once over the previous 2 months before yesterday, but it's now back-to-back days. Continue to count down the days before Bellinger comes back. He's now 5 days away as far as the minimum on that 10-day DL. Took batting practice today, though, on the field, which was a positive step. On the first pitch, Turner runs and no chance to even pull a throw.
Great jump by Justin Turner. He was going, looked like he was going and leaning even before Chase Anderson really lifted that front foot. He was committed, gets a great jump. No throw, no chance. And so far, Dodgers have had opportunities, runners in scoring position. 0 for 5 so far in this game.
Grandal had a pitch to drill, and he popped it up. 0-2. Good chance this will be it for Chase Anderson. Only his 2nd game since returning from the month-and-a-half off because of the oblique injury. This will be his 90th pitch, and there is action down in that Brewers bullpen. Jared Hughes. An 0-2 to Grandal. Grounded up the middle. That's a base hit into center. It'll give the Dodgers their first lead of the night. On an 0-2 pitch, Yasmani Grandal scores Justin Turner with a base hit to center.
Well, Yasmani Grandal be upset with himself with some pitches before because he fouled off some fastballs that he knew he could handle. There, that curveball hangs and he stays back on it just enough to take it right back up the middle for a nice RBI single.
So a 2-out walk for Turner. He steals 2nd and scores on the base hit from Grandal, which gets Gonzalez up. Fastball away. It's 1-0. Gonzalez 1 for 2 tonight. Now lifetime against Chase Anderson, 9 for 17. Ahead of him 2-0. Among those 9 hits is a home run. One of the 100 that he's hit in a Dodger uniform. Most recent came yesterday. The first one 5 years ago tomorrow, because this is the 5-year anniversary today of the trade from Boston. 2-1. It's that big trade. Shocked the baseball world. Hit that home run in his very first at bat as a Dodger. Josh Beckett, Carl Crawford, Nick Punto also came over in that deal. Anderson's 2-1. Eric Stephen had a great recounting to that day where he was acquired. Apparently James Loney, who had been scratched from the lineup that afternoon, reporters asked him what was going on, why he being scratched. The trade wasn't official yet, and Loney deadpan, "I don't have good numbers against Eovaldi. We're starting. I'm 0 for 0. He knew it was coming, but it wasn't public yet. Down the left field line, Ryan Braun. Dodgers string it together with 2 outs to take their first lead of the night. After 5, it's 2-1. Backstage Dodgers coming next Thursday. Behind the scenes of Curtis Granderson's arrival with the Dodgers, and get an inside look at Rich Hill's near perfect game. It's Thursday, presented by Hankook Tire, after the postgame show on Sportsnet LA. Maeda's only thrown 75 pitches and suddenly finds himself pitching with the lead as we go to the 6th.
On his last outing we talked about over there in Detroit, he went 5 perfect innings before getting to that 6th inning, and it was that 6th inning that kind of did him in, where he ended up giving up 3 hits to the first 3 batters that he faced in the 6th, and then ended up giving up 4 runs in that inning. So the other thing too to look out for this is now he's going through that 3rd time through the lineup. This is where, last year that 3rd time through the lineup, the batting averages really went up. This year not as high, but those numbers not as high this year as compared to last year. It's a bit skewed because he hasn't really faced the lineup 3 times that often this year.
Eric Thames. And an 0-1 takes strike 2. Maeda's only allowed 1 hit through 5 innings. Here's Tony Cingrani getting ready. Well, that lone hit left the yard off of the bat of Domingo Santana. Here comes an 0-2. He's got a strikeout to open the 6th.
Really good changeup by Kenta Maeda. He really likes it. You see him just kind of give a yell after he got that swing and miss. But that really had some good tail, good sink, good run on that ball.
And now Neil Walker. That's a cool looking bat, stars and stripes. Ripped on the ground is second. Logan Forsythe position in the hole, cuts it off route number 2. This defense takes away so many hits just out of the scouting report, the data that they go over prior to each game.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, that ball right there actually wasn't easy because it stays low to the ground, and then watch the lip right here, right there. He actually catches it just behind the lip of the grass right there, and when a low one like this can sometimes hit that lip and take a different bounce. One thing though, this infield is so great here at Dodger Stadium. It was one of my favorites to play on.
2 outs for Braun. Strike 1. Fenway Park, it was not.
Not so much. Now the ground screw guy, and he actually came toward the back end of my career there, and he changed it. But he even knew back then it was a challenge, and it wasn't. They totally took out everything, lasered it, just redid the whole entire infield.
I mean, if it's that bad, don't you have to?
Well,
like, you can't just.
I mean, they totally had done that and made sure it was straighter and fixed some of the drainage, all of that. So it's definitely a lot different now.
One ball and 2 strikes on Braun. Got to Maeda, 6 Ks over 5 2/3. 1 hit, 2 walks. A 2-1 lead. And a 1-2 pitch. Fastball for strike 3. 7 punch outs for Kenta Maeda. Just 1 hit over 6 innings. He loves it. Dodgers up 2-1.
Lead over the Brewers. We have some pitching updates for you. A lot of positives over the weekend as we look at our Quicken Loans Rocket Arms. Yu Darvish will be the starter on Sunday. He's going to be activated off the DL to pitch. He's been dealing with that low back tightness, just missing one start. He did throw a bullpen on Wednesday, came out of that feeling good. And then Clayton Kershaw, scheduled to make a rehab start. He'll be in OKC. The team had originally talked about maybe having him start here in Los Angeles tomorrow, but they decided to err on the side of caution, which makes a lot of sense at this point in the season, Joe.
Yeah, Clayton badly wanted to try to talk his way into it, but they will hold off, and he will make that start tomorrow in Oklahoma City. Jared Hughes comes on for the bottom of the 6th.
And I actually talked to Clayton Kershaw right before he left to that, and I go, I knew you were about fighting it. He's like, you know what, it really is probably for the best. Because we were talking about the simulated game, and he said, you know, you just can't simulate the same adrenaline that you get when you go into the game. So before me just taking it out at the big league level, maybe to get one of those under my belt is good.
Hughes is falling behind Puig 2-0. Sure will be good to see big number 22 back, though, won't it?
That it will be.
See if Puig gets one to drop. Instead of tailing fastball, well placed, 2-1.
We were talking over the last series about the depth. It seems like we're talking about the depth of this team all the time. But currently they have 4 All-Stars on the DL.
Soft grounder up along third and foul. Yet the beat goes on.
It does. It does.
90 and 36. Fastest team in 133 years of Dodger baseball to reach 90 wins. Best record in the National League since 1944 through this many games. That was the World War II watered down majors and the St. Louis Cardinals that year. A full count on Puig. Went on to win the World Series and all St. Louis World Series in 1944. Cardinals over the Browns. Browns eventually moved to Baltimore. Boy, there are 2 fun-loving personalities right there in Yasiel Puig and Stephen Vogt. Sharing a laugh. Now adversaries again. Now they can share another laugh.
One thing about Yasiel Puig, it's never animated.
Nope, stone face.
Yep.
Continues to battle here. This has become more and more frequent. You're seeing battles like this from Puig.
Well, and then you could also see the sink and run, the tail that Jared Hughes has on this fastball. There's a lot of ground balls with that sink, and that's where Yasiel keeps pounding it into the ground.
9th pitch to Puig is belted to straightaway center field. Yasiel Puig on the 9th pitch goes dead central.
Yasiel Puig making the adjustment. He's pounding them into the ground. Not that time.
Forsythe.
You know what everybody's waiting for.
He can't go too quick, though, because Turner knows it's coming right away. Here it comes. 2-0. We had to show the pitch. Puig waited for us. How about just a pound? 3 balls, no strikes on Forsythe, and a mound visit because they too would like to see it happen. Apparently I already did. There it is. Pretty gentle one this time.
It was, and I chuckle because I'm thinking about the other ones where he just grabs on his head and brings him over, and Turner Ward's usually trying to fight it off. But this, you know what? This is exactly what Turner Ward has also talked about. The growth of Yasiel Puig. See them there to actually talking about. We were talking about how the tailing ball fuse, how it's coming in, coming down. He says just the conversations this year are a lot different with Yasiel Puig when it even comes to approach and what he's trying to do, what he's trying to accomplish with every at-bat. As we have another look at a Morongo slow-mo cam with that ball tailing in, getting the barrel to it. Turner Ward's face is always priceless.
Do you see Rich Hill kind of inch away?
Yeah.
Don't even get any ideas, buddy. That'd be next level stuff if he added kisses to Rich Hill. So 4-pitch walk for Logan Forsythe. They lead at 3-1, and here's Kike Hernandez. Nothing in 1. Hernandez happy to see Chase Anderson out of there. Got him looking on fastballs both times. And to think, at this time last year, he was in AAA. With a very small chance, for being honest, of ever putting the Dodger jersey on again. But Josh Reddick didn't quite pan out the way the Dodgers had hoped. Rosters expanded. There was a need for Puig with what he was doing against left-handed pitching and with what Reddick was not doing against left-handed pitching. So it turned into a platoon, and Puig wound up on the postseason roster even. And a year later, he's got a career-high 23 home runs. Doing everything right, working at bats, running deep counts. This home run came on the 9th pitch after fouling off 4 or 5. And he continues to play Gold Glove defense in right. Big lead over there for Forsythe. Hughes has thrown over a couple of times. Now he runs, figuring he ain't going to try again. He's stolen second.
Well, they were aware of Logan Forsythe over there, how aggressive his lead was. It looked like he really wanted to get a stolen base, and they're going to have a look. They're seeing if he actually came off the bag as they were sliding into second, or if he kept that left hand on there. They weren't sure, because for a second there, it looked like if it came off, it looked like the second baseman actually had his leg in front of the bag. Let's see here. Gets his hand in there. There it is, but does it stay on? Now his chest is on there.
They're going to review this. Didn't look like there was any bag for him to get to.
Well, right now you can't tell if he's got the corner of the bag. So you got the knee. Looks like the whole leg is blocking it, but there is the corner of the bag exposed right there, because you can kind of see the angle of his knee. So see if his hand actually stays in there. Here's kind of the angle right there. His hand's on the corner of the bag, still on it. His chest is on it, so I think he's safe. Because the tag didn't stay on him. It was kind of it was a quick tag. But here's his hand. There is space behind that leg in that corner. So this is the angle we're talking about. See that back part of the bag? It's exposed. He's safe even when he's tagging. He's still holding on to it. So this one's going to stand. This one's going to stay. They'll probably have it more confirmed that he was safe, that it was correct.
That's a great last shot right there. There it is. Well, Hughes had thrown over there, I think, 3 times in a row. Forsythe just played the odds that he wasn't going to do it a 4th time and was able to get a great jump as a result. Count at the plate is 1-2 on Kike Hernandez with nobody out here in the 6th after the Puig home run. Dodgers trying to add on even more. And the Silver Fox, Chase Utley on deck.
Well, he had Logie Bear leaning one way, but at the same time, he was leaning because nobody was really over there covering second.
You just wanted to say Logie Bear.
I really did.
Yeah. That's okay. I get it.
I mean, it's like Francisco. It's
just fun saying that.
It's fun to say. That's a movie reference for you.
Which one do I need to watch?
Elf.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I knew you'd seen that one.
Okay. Hughes to Hernandez with a 2-2. Flips it in the air on the right side of the infield where Eric Thames put it away. Oh, brings up Chase Utley. And it ends Kenta Maeda's night. 6 solid innings, just 1 hit against him, and in position to pick up another win. He's shaking his head when they announce it. I love that. Baseball robot breaks for a moment.
Silver Fox.
Corey Seager picked it out for him instead of picking out one for himself. Forsythe at second with 1 out in a 3-1 game in the 6th. That's a bullet caught at second by Walker.
That was just bad placement on Chase Utley's fault. That's all. That part. I mean, he squared that ball up. You can't hit it any harder. He squares that up just right at Neil Walker. Great swing by the Silver Fox.
Great shoes tonight, too.
Those are some really good shoes.
I'm a little surprised.
You know, I think so. The Silver Fox, Corey Seager picked that. Didn't give him the nickname, but picked it.
Right. He said, you choose what I have on my jersey.
Right. So he said, go with the Silver Fox.
Two outs for Chris Taylor.
And Jerry Hairston was giving him the nickname the Silver Fox. I remember doing the post-game show when he was talking about it. And then he also said, Chase, hey, sorry about the Silver Fox. And he said Chase just stone-faced him at first. And he goes, oh my gosh. And he's friends with Chase. And he came back and said, I'm just kidding. I like it.
Oh, I'd strike the fear of God into
yeah, oh, he did. He's like, oh my gosh. He doesn't like it. He's going to be all, he's going to be mad. He's not going to like me anymore.
One. Generous strike, 1-2. Looks like Tony Cingrani will handle the 7th. 2 left-handed hitters due up in the inning. 2-2 on Taylor. Full count. Ball 4. Well, the reach from Stephen Vogt might have cost him the strike. I think it was in the zone, but he was set up inside. Craig Counsell coming out. Looks like he'll go to Oliver Drake, who is a right-hander, but a reverse splits guy that they pretty much use as a lefty specialist. He'll come on for the left-handed batting Corey Seager. Choose Nissan today for great offers on our most exciting lineup ever. Shop ChooseNissan.com. Puig's bat with the Cuban flag. He's a home run in this inning and has the Dodgers in front 3-1. Inning still going. Runners at first and second. And with 2 out, Oliver Drake is on to face Corey Seager. He's a right-hander, but they use him as a lefty specialist with a really nice splitter.
He really does have a good splitter, and he also has a funky delivery when it comes to the fastball. It comes kind of over the top. He has a slider that he also has, but very rarely uses, especially against left-hand batters. It's predominantly just the fastball and that split finger.
Bucko, the name on his jersey. His dad, when he was growing up, called him Little Buckaroo, and it got shortened over the years to both Buck and Bucko, like he has on his jersey. On for Corey Seager. Forsythe at second and Taylor at first. Boy, you were right about the unorthodox delivery. There's down under, and then there's that.
Kind of, when he takes the ball out of the glove, it's kind of hides it. There's behind him, and then it's like all of a sudden he pushes up and it comes over the top.
Like he's throwing a hatchet at a tree.
Yeah.
Tap to the left side. This could be a tough play. Arcia's barehanded throw is off the line, and the bases are loaded for Turner. So Seager has 2 hits tonight. A teardrop down the left field line and an infield single.
Once again, sometimes the barrel is overrated. As CT3 once said when he ended up getting 4 hits earlier in the season. And I'm surprised Arcia even threw that ball, because that was going to be a tough play. Really had no chance, and especially going barehanded. And as a guy is running to third, you don't want to risk possibly throwing that ball away and the guy coming around to score.
Had a bunch of these opportunities in Pittsburgh and struggled to cash in most of the time. A strike on Turner. One time they did. It was Curtis Granderson launching a grand slam. Forsythe the man at third. Taylor at second. And Seager at first. Ball and a strike. Two on one. Three-one game in the 6th. Bases loaded with 2 out. Drake to Turner with a 2-1 that's low. It's 3 balls and a strike, and there's nowhere to put it. Turner, if he gets one to hit, will unload. Instead, it's on the inside edge, barely 3-2.
Not like that call. This one was really close, and it also doesn't help when you turn around as a hitter and you see that the catcher is lined up on the outside part of the plate, and then he has to reach that far over to catch it. Pitch catch shows it as a strike, but as a hitter, when you turn around and see it, you're like, wait a minute.
Fouled off. Dodgers very close to a franchise record for number of grand slams in a season. Right now sitting 2 short. They have 8. The record is 10. Pick your poison here. Pitch that misses, brings in a run. Pitch over the plate could be disaster. Oh, he gets him to go around. Rarely does he do it, but Turner chases and leaves the bases loaded. but they add one on a Yasiel Puig homer on the 9th pitch that he sees from Jared Hughes. The 23rd long ball of the season for the Wild Horse.
Be at Dodger Stadium this Sunday when the Dodgers take on the Milwaukee Brewers. If your child is one of the first 12,000 kids, 14 and under, in attendance, they will receive a Dodger Kids Hamper presented by SoCal Honda Dealers. Visit Dodgers.com/promotions. And who doesn't love picking up their clothes and throwing them in a hamper?
I'm not huge on it, but
if it has Dodgers on it, oh yeah.
Let's do it.
Why not?
Tony Cingrani comes in with the Dodgers in front 3-1. This is as high of a leverage situation as Tony Cingrani's found himself in with the Dodgers. Facing the middle third of the order in a 2-run game. He misses with the first one to Travis Shaw. Dodgers trying to get their 25th win out of their last 30. Trying to move to 56-11 since early June. A fastball for a strike. Two and one. Over from the Cincinnati Reds. Count evens at 2-2 on Shaw. First year with the Brewers, having a breakout season. Former Boston Red Sox. 27 homers. Until Rafael Devers debuted a few weeks ago and has been impressive at third base for the Red Sox. They had spent much of the season wishing they still had Travis Shaw. Pablo Sandoval didn't pan out. Couldn't find anyone to stick in that spot. Meanwhile, they just dealt Shaw. Waits on a 2-2. And looks at one just off of the plate to run it full. A pop-up, spinning its way back. Grandal appears to have room for the first out.
Number 16, Domingo Santana.
Now Domingo Santana, who has the lone hit for the Brewers in this game, a home run in the second. Isn't that the story with them? Homers or nothing. On this trip now, 7 runs in almost 4 games, or at least over the last 4. Trip started in Colorado. Offense was a little better then, but it sputtered in San Francisco in a very pitcher-friendly park. And trying to gain traction tonight in the opener with the Dodgers. Two and 0.
You got Kenta Maeda, who went 6 innings, went 6 solid innings. And you got Cingrani, and we've seen Cingrani kind of come into games. And then Dave Roberts maybe have a couple of other pitchers warming up in the bullpen. This isn't the case. And also tomorrow, I mean, they have it written down as to be determined, but it's going to be Ross Stripling starting tomorrow. And even Dave Roberts pretty much says it's going to be a bullpen day.
It's a walk to Santana. Yeah, he said probably 4 innings for Stripling.
So with that in mind, it's really important that those coming out of the bullpen today be efficient but effective, so he doesn't have to go in there too often.
That walk makes Stephen Vogt represent the tying run, and he has some pop. Homered in their last game. He was the only guy to get a ball out of AT&T Park this week for the Brewers. And it came in the final inning with 2 outs of that series. 1 ball, no strikes. Somebody doing a great job of getting Santana back to the bat.
That means they're into the game. That means they're trying to help a teammate out. They also know the scouting report about Cingrani being able to pick guys off over at first base.
Did in his last outing. That's lined to second. Forsythe completes the double play. And Tony Cingrani with a very efficient 7th inning. We stretch at Dodger Stadium. game with the Dodgers trying to take this series opener from the Brewers. And in that Milwaukee bullpen, Chase Anderson went only 5 tonight. Got a run in the 6th against Jared Hughes with a home run from Yasiel Puig, and now it's Oliver Drake, who is the second product of the Naval Academy to make it to the majors. Mitch Harris was reliever with the Cardinals, and then Oliver Drake debuted with the Baltimore Orioles before joining Milwaukee. Yasmani Grandal 1 for 3. Broke the tie with an RBI single in the 5th inning. Dodgers have scored a single run in 3 consecutive frames. A strike. Nothing in 2. Josh Ravin getting loose after Tony Cingrani handled the 7th. They'll try to use Ravin for the 8th and then Jansen for the 9th if it all goes to plan.
Got in on Yasmani Grandal. Hey, Oliver Drake coming into the game in the last inning was able to get Justin Turner on a strikeout. That was a big strikeout. Look at this game, just 3-1. Looking for some insurance runs. I know that's the obvious, but at the same time, we talked about this Brewer lineup.
Drake gets Grandal.
Coming into this game, ranked 2nd in the NL as far as home runs.
Number 23.
And it seems like they are all or nothing with the home runs, but just a walk and a home run or a base hit, a home run away from tying this game. Dodgers can use a couple more runs here.
Gonzalez 1 for 3. High fly ball to right center field, but it'll stay in the yard, and it's toggled and caught by Broxton as Santana failed to communicate properly.
I mean, for a second, it looked like it was going to be a collision. FLA boy comes able to stay with it. Florida boy. Whew, that was a close one.
Florida boy is not as cool as FLA boy.
FLA boy.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to be like Fly Boy on there or something like that, but I know what he's from Florida.
Yeah. Took back a Puig's home run and our Arco top-tier play. 9th pitch of that at-bat against Hughes.
He fought off some pitches, was just bearing them into the ground, especially with Hughes' sinker and tailing fastball. Makes the adjustment, gets another one a little bit higher and did not miss. And he gets a piece of that one, and that one did not miss his foot either. It's like great off my cool looking shoes here too. Gosh.
Those are sweet. Drake's 1-2. Puig cues one. A roller to first. Thames throws awkwardly across his body, and covering his Drake to end the inning. We've played 7. Josh Ravin coming in. You can join the 2018 Dodger family by signing up now for the season seat or mini plan wait lists. Registered fans will be contacted by a Dodger season ticket representative on a first-come, first-served basis. Go to Dodgers.com/season tickets or call 866-DODGERS today. Josh Ravin on to handle the 8th inning and trying to bridge it to Kenley Jansen for the 9th. On the back of his jersey, he has El Cuervo. Cuervo is the Spanish word for raven. His last name is Ravin, spelled differently than the English Raven. But
and he said, he goes, well, maybe now they know that it's actually pronounced Ravin. He says a lot of people will pronounce it like Ravine, Chavez Ravine.
Right.
And he's like, no, it's Ravin. So now there's clarity that
now
he puts it in Spanish. So.
It's a sellout tonight. It is a gorgeous night to be here. Fireworks Friday. And they packed them in here. What a scene. Bottom part of the order, Broxton and Arcia, then a pinch hitter out of the 9 spot. Luis Avilan has begun to warm in the Dodger bullpen in case a lefty comes up. If it gets to the top of the order, it would be a lefty, and Eric Thames. Strike 1, a fastball at 98. Broxton had a 3-for-50 slide through July. Sent down to AAA as a result, but has done nothing but hit since coming back. 6 home runs in these few weeks in August. 1 ball and 1 strike. One and 2.
That game on Tuesday over there in Pittsburgh, Ravin came in for 2 innings, no earned runs, just 1 hit and 3 Ks.
That was a game where Brock Stewart only went 2 innings. Bullpen had to go 7. He gets Keon Broxton with a fastball at 96 for the first out of the 8th.
Did a really good job coming into that game and starting that for the bullpen. The bullpen was tremendous, and just getting them with the high heat.
Pinch hitter here for the Brewers, it's Eric Sogard. Strike 1. He wears the name Nerd Power on his back. That was a nickname given to him in Oakland. Guy wears glasses, and you gotta think his nickname Nerd. He embraced it though. Kind of had a cult following in Oakland. No balls, 2 strikes, and El Cuervo looks dialed in so far.
Cuervo taking on Nerd Boy.
Yeah, sounds like a video game.
It does.
Like Tekken or something. Not Nerd Boy, Nerd Power.
Oh, Nerd Power. Okay, sorry.
Be nice.
I'm just making up stuff now with them. Just having fun with it.
Josh Ravin, back-to-back Ks to open the 8th inning.
I say you can throw the ball 99 miles an hour. You've got to look for that 97, and you're going, oh, I'm going to throw a slider that looks like a fastball and just bury it right under your hands, swing over and miss.
Ravin says, sit down, nerd.
Nerd Power goes down.
Jonathan VR.
We've had some fun with some of these
This
nicknames,
has been
huh?
good. Yeah. That's a strike. Ravin striking out Broxton, striking out the pinch hitter Sogard. And now Jonathan VR, who's hitting .375 over his last 9 games, pinch hitting with the bases empty in the 8th. At the knees, it's 1-2. Ravin strikes out the side. Brewers down in order in the 8th to the bottom half in a 3-1 game.
Dodgers presented by your Southern California Nissan dealers. Apparently, Cool Breeze and Blackjack were feeling a little left out, so they had to make their own little jerseys. I think that's really cute. Clearly, Jay Hare has really bad hold on them. I don't know what he's doing. But, Joe, I thought of a nickname for you. I think you would like this. Grill Master.
Yeah, I like it.
That's good, right?
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's better than Joey D.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure.
All hail your grilling.
Thanks, Kelly.
Grill Master. Come on. You like the one I gave you. Come on.
Which is
the Prom King.
I didn't win Prom King.
Okay, Homecoming King. Better.
Yeah,
Homecoming, but that's too far. That's too long to put on the back.
It wouldn't fit.
Yeah.
So we have to lie and say it was the Prom King.
I mean,
strike
tomato,
one on
tomato.
Logan
Come on.
It's true. You can't win both, Nomar. Had to take one, let somebody else win the other.
What, you didn't go to your prom? Is that why you didn't win?
Yeah, I was there.
Oh, okay.
I was there.
It's all right. JJ pitching to Logie Bear,
who has a home run tonight. JJ is Jeremy Jeffress, 8-year Major League veteran. 4 different teams over those 8 seasons, mostly though with the Brewers. A couple different stints with them. Some time with Texas over the last year. Also in Toronto and Kansas City. Here's a 2-1. Rides inside, 3 balls, 1 strike. Forsythe a home run and a walk in this game. It's been an on-base machine, especially lately. I think it's fair to call him that. I think earlier you'd say that his on-base percentage was his saving grace, but lately he's really been getting on base at an elite level. Takes a strike, 3-2. Only Joey Votto has a higher walk rate in the National League. Logan would like to see the average climb up in addition to that, but still getting on. 371 the on-base percentage when league average is right around 320. Protects here barely, and it stays at 3-2. California.
The Dodgers have been in this position before, where California is warming up, possibly come in and try to save the game and close out the game, and they end up scoring some runs in the 8th.
Yeah.
So he comes in a non-save situation, but I guarantee you that's okay, because that means, you know, they're putting some runs on the board and doing their job.
Strike 3 over the inside corner, so that means they shouldn't have to buy him candy when they steal a save situations like they did.
That was just nice. That was just thoughtful.
It really was.
That was very considerate. You know.
Everybody likes candy.
Right.
Hernandez 0 for 3. 2 Ks and a pop out. Oh, 1. Series continues tomorrow. Ross Stripling for the Dodgers, Zach Davies for the Brewers. That's at 6:10. 1:10 on Sunday. Jimmy Nelson, Yu Darvish. Fouled off 0-2. Curtis Granderson will bat next. Did you take a look at the upcoming weather forecast?
I'm sorry. I haven't
Nasty. Hundreds coming up this week.
Yeah, it's a little warm.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, see, nasty.
Nasty warm. Nasty's probably the wrong word.
Hot. Hot. Stay hydrated.
Yeah, drink a lot of water.
Beach weather.
Yeah. Hernandez lays off, and it's 2-2. 98 Monday, 101 Tuesday here at the ballpark. Good thing is there are no games at the park Monday or Tuesday, so it's not a big deal here.
I mean, you're going to be in 100 anyway in
That's
Arizona.
Right. 200.
Right? 200. Yeah, double hit. But it is indoors.
Hernandez strikes out, 2 away. They pull Granderson back. And Kyle Farmer comes up.
Now batting, pitch hitter number 65, Kyle Farmer.
Good to have Kyle Farmer back. Of course, his first career major league at bat, game-winning 2-run double, and extra innings against the rival Giants a few weeks back. Takes a strike. Looking ahead to the 9th inning for the Brewers. Top of the order coming up. Thames, Walker, Braun. So it won't be easy for Jansen, even though he usually tries to make it look like it is. 1-1. Still just 1 hit for Milwaukee. The home run from Domingo Santana in the 2nd. Maeda went 6. Cingrani handled the 7th, faced the minimum. Ravin struck out the side in the 8th. And Dave Roberts has to be really pleased with what the bullpen has done in conjunction with Maeda going 6. But we talk about no game living in a vacuum. This one really sets up tomorrow's bullpen game nicely.
And that's what you were really hoping going into this game, that Maeda could go 6 for 7. You know, when you write it out, you're going, okay, when you look for tomorrow, and I know we've been saying, well, it's cliche, they really do take it day to day. But as a manager, you're supposed to be looking at, okay, what do the next few days look like? You know that Ross Stripling's going to be starting tomorrow, and it's going to be a bullpen day.
Ground ball to short. Eric Sogard. Nerd's got a pretty good arm. Enter Kenley Jansen for the 9th inning, trying to lock down a 3-1 win. See a Southern California BMW Center today for exceptional offers, or visit SoCalBMW.com. California. Fans sent Kenley a flag, and he's embraced the nickname. California Love, one of the great sounds of summer in Los Angeles, pumping through the Dodger Stadium speakers in a 3-1-9.
I'm really a big fan of the shoes. It has like that teal blue kind of matching the sleeves and the hat. California.
Sharp. As we said, not going to be easy. Thames, Walker, and Braun. Thames 0 for 3 tonight. Started this season on an absolute tear and was leading baseball in home runs after about a month, but was really tailed off. Quickly 0-2. Saw Jansen give that hesitation in the delivery there, like we saw him use a few times in Pittsburgh, and he's been using more and more. You only do those kinds of things if you are supremely confident. And of course he is right now. 0-2. Thames strikes out. On 3 pitches, 1 gone.
What's the go-to pitch for California? How about the cutter? He just gets him up in the zone. attack. That's his mentality.
Now Walker. Brewers just really hoping for a base runner to get the tying run up there. Jansen 4 for 4 to begin this outing. Driven to left center field. Kike Hernandez on the move, and he caught it. 2 gone.
Kike Hernandez has shown his ability to play anywhere on the field. I guarantee you Dave Roberts even has no problem if he needed to put him in catcher. We know he's got a tremendous arm. If he had to put him on the hill, he'd put him on the hill. But Kike Hernandez coming up huge with a play out there in left field.
How much fun has this season been? An out away from 91 and 36. Ryan Braun trying to extend the night for the Brewers. Jansen gets the first 2 outs on 5 pitches and quickly gets ahead 0-1. Hour earlier tomorrow. Typical Saturday start time of 6:10 and 1:10 Monday. Running out of chances to get out here to see one of the greatest teams in the regular season in baseball history. I meant 1:10 Sunday. Off day Monday and then on to Arizona. Little dribbler in front of the plate. Grandal hurries. Not in time. There is a chance here that this game could end on a review. That'd be something. It just might.
He's out.
This game's over.
I think it is over.
How many games have ended on a review?
That's a great question.
On an overturned call. At least one.
Yep.
At least one. The Dodgers take the opener from the Brewers 3-1 and are 91 and 36.
Good pitching performance by Maeda, going 6 strong. Then the bullpen coming and doing their job. How important was that? Well, it's going to be a bullpen day tomorrow. Ross Strictly started, and at the same time, we got some long balls by Yasiel Puig, Logie Bear, the Wild Horse, Logie Bear. Just a good win for the Dodgers.
Lexus play of the game is Puig's home run, which came on the 9th pitch from Jared Hughes. Dodgers got 6 innings from Maeda, then Cingrani, then Ravin, then Jansen. Just 1 hit allowed by those 4 pitchers. For Nomar Garciaparra, Kelly Tennant, and the rest of our crew, Joe Davis saying so long from Dodger Stadium, where the Dodgers win yet another. That's 31 of their last 35 at home, 25 of their last 30 overall. Access Sportsnet, brought to you by your Southern California Nissan dealers, starts now.